Hello, our most valued student. My name is Confident and welcome to our revision session. And this is one of the few ones that I've done, and it is focusing on grade 8. This came after some of the students were requesting to say, you have been doing grade 9s, why can't you also please take a look at grade 8? So this is one of those few students who send me comments, and I thought of, let me just bring in a few of some exam questions. I might not cover everything, but something that you can use as you prepare for your exam. So I'm not going to waste time here. Let's look at one of the questions. This was question 4. Don't worry with the question, but don't worry with the numbering, but let's focus on the questions here. It says we need to solve for x. I'm gonna take it a bit slow, understanding that you are grade 8. We need to solve for x, and this is how many marks? This is 4 marks. Solving for x, 4 marks. And then it says 3x minus what? 3x. Let me write it down. 3x, and then it's minus 6 is equal to 9. Now you need these 4 marks, and then you need to analyze this equation. Remember, you have got the left hand side. Let me just have it here to say we have the left hand side, and then after the equal sign we have the what? The right hand side. So most of the time the numbers are on the right hand side. Most of the time you find that the numbers like 9, they are on the right hand side. Okay, so now what you do in this case, if you are going to solve for x, you look at this 6. Look at 6 and the sign before 6. It's a number. You see, it doesn't have x. So this number can also jump the equal sign. And when things jump the equal sign, you must look at the sign. It was negative. When it jumps the equal sign, it becomes positive. So minus 6 will become plus 6. So when you write it, you will have 3x is equal to, we no longer have 6 because 6 has joined 9. You see, these are like terms. It will be 9 plus 6. Do you see that 6 can leave 3x to join 9? Why? Because there is a minus, or even if it was a plus, it was going to behave the same. So if there is a minus or a plus, the 6 is able to move, either join 9 or join 3x. You can take it back here and make 6 come backwards. It was positive, it will become negative. Do you see that? So even 9 is able to join because it's separated by a plus with a 6. So those are able to jump the equal sign. So we continue now to say 3x is equal to 9 plus 6. You use a calculator, or you recall to say this is 15. So now there is some challenges that some students face. It says 3x is equal to 15. How do you get rid of 3? Now don't be tempted now to say, I will take 3 to the other side, and then you use the same to say 3 is positive because there is a positive there. It will become negative. That is wrong. We can't apply that. Why? Because there is no plus or minus between 3 and x. Look at it. In here we had a minus between 3 and minus 6. But in here, what sign do we have between 3 and x? Let me erase a bit and give you some space. What is the sign between 3 and x here? What is the sign? The sign is a dot. And what is a dot? A dot is a multiplication sign. Are you with me? So you need to recognize the signs in. So here we no longer have a plus or minus, but what we have a multiplication sign, a times sign. So now you have to recall, look at it. The negative sign on the minus 6 became a positive sign. So it was negative, it became a positive. So the opposite of negative is positive. So you must also ask yourself, what is the opposite of multiplication? It is division. So you divide. That's how you get rid of that 3. You divide by 3, but what you do on the left, you do on the right. You also divide by 3. Don't forget that part. That is where you separate that, so that you can have x is equal to, how many times, you can use a calculator, but how many times does 3 go into 15? Is 5 times. Then you put a 5. You have managed to what? To solve for x. And you get 4 marks. Just think about that. It's not really complicated. You just need to give yourself time. And by the way, you can test your answer. You can test this answer. So what you do, sorry about that. So this is what you do. You take the question, you bring back the question to say solve for x. Remember they said 3, let me use this one. It was 3x minus 6 was equal to 9. But now we know our x. Where there is the x, we put 5. So you say 3 times what? We say 3 times 5. Because our x, remember I told you that there is a multiplication there. Minus 6 must give me a 9. So what is 3 times 5? 3 times 5 is what? Is 15 minus 6. It must give me a what? A 9. So now we continue here to say what is 15 minus 6? 15 minus 6 is 9. So 9 is equal to 9. And I told you about left hand side and I told you about right hand side. Do you see that the left hand side is equal to the right hand side? It means our answer here is correct. Then they will give you all your 4 marks. Alright, but don't forget you need to show the working. So that was the first one. Let's go to the second one. It says 4.1.2. We need to, it's also 4 marks. You see, this is also 4 marks and you don't want to lose these marks. It says, it looks a bit longer, but don't be intimidated by such sums. It says what? 2, then there is a bracket, and then it's x plus 4. Are you with me? And then it says plus 2 is equal to 5x plus 1. Now, whenever you see a bracket, what does the bracket symbolize? A bracket is the same as a multiplication sign. So when you see a bracket, what are you saying? You are saying a what? A multiplication sign. Alright. So now, it means I can actually do this. I can actually take this 2 here, move it a little bit, and say the 2 is multiplying. Are you getting that? And you know now with the bracket what you do what is called the FOIL method, or you not the FOIL method, you distribute this 2. How do you distribute the 2? This is what you do. You take this 2, it will open up that bracket by multiplying by x, but there is a 4 which is also inside the bracket, so the 2 will also come and multiply the 4. So here what are you doing? You are multiplying. Remember, it's 2 times. So what you're going to have will be 2 times x plus 2 times 4. Are you seeing that? And then the plus 2 is outside the bracket, so you leave it like that, which is equal to 5x plus 1. Now what is 2 times x? It's not necessary to write the step. Some they jump this step, you know, because they want to go straight to say 2 times x is what? Is 2x. 2 times 4 is plus 8. Plus 2 is equal to 5x plus 1. You can actually now move on to say, okay, this is 2x. Now 8 plus 2 is what? Is 10. You can add there, is still fine, you're allowed. Is equal to 5x plus 1. Now, as I said, whenever you see a plus or you see a minus, it means you can move them across the equal sign. So for example, look at 5 and it's 5 plus 1. So you are allowed to take this 5 to join the what? The 2x. Remember I said it's usually common that on the left hand side you have got x and on the right hand side you have got the numbers. So this 5, what is the sign for 5? It's not indicated, but you must know as long as there is no negative, it means there is a hidden positive. So the 5 is positive. It jumps this equal sign. It will come this side to become what? Negative. So how do you write it? You say 2x minus 5x, you see, is equal to, we do the same thing with the numbers. Now you had a plus 10 here. You see the sign. Very important with the sign. we want plus 10 to come and join 1 this side. So what will happen? We said it jumps the equal sign from positive to negative. So it is going to be, you start with the plus 1. Don't forget your plus 1. So that's why you say it's 1. You can forget about this plus because we know there is a hidden 1. I mean a hidden positive. It's 1 minus 10. You see that? And then we wrap it up to say what is 2x minus 5x. Don't let this confuse you again. You take a calculator, you just subtract 2 minus 5. Forget about the x. Forget about the x. Just subtract 2 minus 5. What is it giving you with the calculator? It is giving you what? Minus 3. Are you with me? So, but the way you write it, you say minus 3. Obviously, you are dealing with x. Don't leave out that x. Is equal to 1 minus 10 with the calculator. It will give you minus 9. Are you with me? You continue here. I told you to say this is same as saying minus 3. There is a hidden sign, which is what? Times. Let me use another color. It's times. And what? X is equal to minus 9. Now look at this. The opposite of multiplication, we say it is what? It's division. So I divide. What I do on the left, I do on the right. I divide by 3, I divide by 3. Then I'm going to ask you, is this correct? No, it's wrong. Why? Because there is the negative sign. I cannot ignore now this negative sign. So when I'm dividing by negative 3 this time and by negative 3. Left hand side, what you do on the right hand side. So there are times whereby you find yourself, you have to divide. You cannot leave the negative because the negative means it is, we can consider it also like a number, you see. So 3, if you're going to divide by 3, there is no way you can leave out that negative. Always know that. So when you do that, we can now cancel minus 3, cancel minus 3. Then we have got x is equal to, you can use a calculator, but without a calculator, the negative neutralizes the negative. You must always know. To give a what? A negative and a negative gives a positive. Then 3 goes into 9 3 times, but you can use a calculator for that. So the answer is x is equal to 3. Are you with me? So that's how you solve for x here. Okay, so now since we got this, let me show you something here. I hope it will allow me to take it up. Yes, it allowed. Okay, let me duplicate it actually here. You can actually do this and then take it up. Now, I told you that you can test your answers. Remember this thing about testing your answers? Now, when you test your answers, it's always good because it helps you to know, am I correct? So this is what you do. You will say what was our value for x? X was 3. So I'm going to write here to say our x was equal to 3. So this is what you do. Where there is x, you put that 3. And then where there is x, we put that 3. You see that? So you write the question now to say, let me divide, to say 2 bracket. Where there is x is what? It's 3 plus 4. We call this substitution. Plus 2 is equal to 5. It's 5x. Remember, there is a dot. It's 5 times 3 plus 1. Don't say 5 plus 3, no. Then you use a calculator on the left hand side. Use a calculator on the right hand side. So let's do that. So if I take my calculator and then let's start with the left hand side. It's 2 bracket 3 plus 4, close the bracket, plus 2. You see, after that is the equal sign. So I end there, equal to, I'm getting 16. So let's try this side. This side, what do I have? 5 times 3 plus 1 equal to 16. So I got 16 this side, equal to 16 this side. What is it? Left hand side is equal to right hand side. It means my answer for x is equal to 3 is correct because you saw that the left hand side is equal to the right hand side. So that's how we do these questions. Difficult? Not really, but you need to be very extra careful so that you don't make some errors. All right, so let's take this thing off. Okay, let's take this thing off and then continue. Let's continue. So you got your 4 marks, you got your 8 marks now. Let's go to 4.2. Now 4.2, what is it saying? We're here now. question 4.2. It says Aisha is 3 years older than Paul. So Aisha is 3 years older than Paul. Together, their ages add up. Add up means plus. Okay? Their ages add up to what? It add up to 17 years. How old is Aisha? So you can come here and say, okay, I've got Paul's age. Let's come here. I've got Paul and I've got Aisha. Alright, and then they are telling us Aisha is 3 years older than Paul. Let's make an example. Let's say Paul was 20 years. I'm just making an example. Let's say Paul was 20 years. How old do you think Aisha is? How old? You expect Aisha to be 3 years older. So you expect Aisha to be 20 plus 3, which is equal to what? 23 years. Do you see what's happening? Do you see that? Which means if I take Paul's age and then I add 3 years, I can get Aisha's age. Are you seeing that? So now, since we don't know their ages, we can say, let's start with Paul. Let Paul's age be what? Be equal to X. We don't know his Paul's age. So let her age be X. So as I said, here, if the age was 20 years, we added 3 and then we got Aisha's age. So look at this. If we take Paul's age, which is X, right? And then look what we did also here. We said, okay, Paul's age, which was 20, this case is X, that is Paul, plus Aisha's age. What do you expect Aisha's age to be? You expect Aisha's age to be what? X, which is Paul's age plus 3, because she's 3 years older. Are you getting that? So that is what we are having. And then they are saying together. You know what it means together? It means their ages add up to. So together, you come here and say, if I take Paul's age, which is X, plus Aisha's age, which is X plus 3, together, they say their age was what? 17 years. There it is. That's how you go about it. And then you simplify this. You are like, okay, I have got X plus 3 is equal to 17. It's an equation. So now what is X? X means there is a hidden 1. There is a hidden 1. So it's 1X plus 1X. Please don't say X squared. No. That's where you mess it up. So you have got 1X plus 1X. Ignore the X. Ignore the X. What is 1 plus 1? It's 2. 2 of what? 2 of X. Okay. So you have got 2X plus 3 is equal to 17. Now, we have got similar equations whereby there is a plus sign here of 3, which can move to join 17. It was positive, it will become negative. You see that? So you have got 2x is equal to 17 minus 3. And then what is it? 2x is equal to 17 minus 3. What do you get? You get 14. And I told you to say, whenever you don't see any sign, it means there is a hidden what? Multiplication sign. What's the opposite of that? Is division. And what do you divide by? In this case, it's just a 2. There is a hidden positive there. So you ignore that. So you just divide by 2. And we divide by 2. What we do on the left, we do on the right. So what is it? We have got our x is equal to 2 goes into 14 7 times. There it's 7. Right. Then we come back and say, what is x? We say, let Paul's age be x. So which means Paul is equal to what? 7 years old. That is Paul. So Paul's age is 7 years old. But the question is, are they looking for Paul's age? No. They say, how old is Aisha? Aisha is 3 years older. So you expect Aisha to be what? Therefore, Aisha is 10. Remember, you can say just 10, or you can say 7 plus 3, which is equal to 10 years old. Okay, so Aisha is what? Aisha is 10 years old. So that was the answer for that. Difficult? I keeps on saying not really, but you just need to be careful with the way you approach the question. I hope it makes a bit of sense. Let's come back to the next question. This one says 4.3. We are now in 4.3. 4.3 says study the flow diagram and answer the questions that follow. So in this flow diagram, you have got input values, what you put inside, and then you've got output values, what you get out. Alright, so they are giving you the input -2, -1, 0, 1, and then you have got this thing where everything is cooked inside here, which is 2x plus 3. Then you've got A, B, C, D. Then it says determine the numerical values of the output, write the values in the table below. I've already been doing this when I was substituting. So this is what they are saying. They are saying you have got something coming in. Let's start with -2. And then you have got something that is being cooked in here, which is 2x plus 3. Look at this, 2x plus 3. And then they are asking you to say, what are you going to get out? What are you going to get out? This is out. This is in. It's simpler. So remember what we said here. 2x, it's 2 times x plus 3. You see, so you take this -2, you come here and put it there. So what will it be? It will be 2 times -2 plus 3, then equal to whatever answer we get here will be our output. So use a calculator. Don't stress now. Don't stress now. Use a calculator. It's 2 times -2. You can use this minus. I prefer that one, but others prefer this minus. -2 plus 3 equal to, you get -1. So this -1 is your output. Are you with me? So the answer that they expected here, A is equal to -1. You see? Trust me, it's not difficult. You change now to say, okay, it was -2. So what is it now? It has changed to become -1. You see, it's -1 now, 0 and 1. So that's all that you're doing. You put it in here now, and then it becomes 0. You put it in here now, and then it becomes 1. You put it in here now. I'm going to use the calculator once to get all the answers. It's not complicated. So what did you start with? We said 2 times. Let me start with the first one. It was -2 plus 3. We got that -1. Then you play back to say it's no longer -2 now, it's -1. Look, it's -1 equal to, we get a 1. Don't forget this answer. When it's -1, we get a 1. Let's play back. When it's 0, what do we get? We get a 3. You see that? So it's 1, it's 3. Let's play back. When it's 1, what do we get? We get a 5. You remember those numbers? 1, 3, 5. So B is equal to, it was 1, C is equal to 3, and D is equal to 5. Guys, is this difficult? No, it's not difficult. You are just changing the value of X. This input, you must always know, when they say input is equal to X values, output is equal to Y values. Are you with me? Sometimes they write this as here, they will say Y is equal to. That is your output. Are you with me? I hope this makes sense. So this was 19 marks. And then they're saying draw the graph using the table. Okay, I don't have the table here, but they want me to draw the graph. Okay, let me try to draw the graph for you quickly. But I'm going to just use this one. I didn't have that graph here. I'm just going to change this into a graph paper like this. And if you are drawing now this graph, this is what you do. I think they would have given you already something like this to say. They will give you that, and then they will give you that in the graph. Are you with me? So what you have, you will divide your line to say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And by the way, this is x, and then you put an arrow. This is y. Are you with me? So you write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the y value is also 1, 2, 3, 4. The top one there is 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then also here we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You must know minus, 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 minus. Why am I even here on the left? On the left, it's minus, 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 minus. Going down is also minus. Don't forget that. All right. So now, when they say plot, this is what they are saying. Remember, let me erase this top part. When you're plotting, we are having this to say this is together and this is together. You see, this is together. These are coordinates. I think you have done coordinates to say when x is minus 2, y is minus 1. Let's go and look at it. So when x is minus 2, so you take, it's like this. When x is minus 2, y is minus 1. See, that point there is what is actually the coordinate. So what you do in that coordinate, you make a dot here. You mark it. You see, you do the same thing. When x is minus 1, y is equal to 1. You do thing when x is minus 1, y is minus 1. X is, I forgot this minus here. So x is minus 1. It's like this. Y is 1. It's like here. You see that? So there is a dot there. When x is minus 1, y is 1. So there is a dot here. We continue. When x is 0, y is 3. So you come here and say, when x is 0, there is x is equal to 0. Y is equal to 3. There is y is equal to 3. So it's on top there. I hope you see what I'm doing. So you come here, you do this. Alright. So the last one, when x is 1, y is 5. So you come here and say, okay, when x is 1, y is 5. So I can extend this thing a little bit, you know, so that I can have more. So remember, I said I'm the one who was now drawing this. So I have extended it. So y is equal to 5. So 5 is here, you see, like this. So there is that point where these two graph meet. So alright, I see what I did there. I have to first, okay, let me do this. Let me do this and then take this like this and delete it like that. So that when x is 1, we said what? Y was 5. There is a point. Let me remove y here. It will also disturb me here because y is supposed to be there. Alright. When x is 1, y is 5. It's here. Then they say draw the graph. It's a straight line that you're going to draw like this. Are you with me? Then like this. It's a straight line. You have a ruler, you can draw it straight away. I'm not having a ruler here, so it's a bit tricky what I'm trying to draw. Then you label the graph here. Y is equal to 2x. I think it was plus 3. That was that. So you have drawn this graph. Y is 2x plus 3. Okay, so this is how you get 19 marks, guys. This was the first part of the video. I'm doing revisions. Check the other revision sessions as well, because it will be benefiting you if you are doing grade 8. We have come to the end of our lesson. Remember, so you need to be subscribed, because from now on I'm your tutor from grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11. We are going to see each other even in grade 12, whereby you are going to be getting your distinctions. So I need you to start getting distinctions now from grade 8, 9, 10, 11 up to 12. We have come to the end of our lesson. Don't forget to subscribe, because that is how you're going to know if ever I'm adding new videos, okay? Also, you must share the channel to your friends so that they can also benefit. Thank you.